I help my mom usually during the weekends, and I also work as a part-time tutor, teaching English, mathematics, and economics. My financial goal is to be financially free before 30, being able to spend on the things that I want to spend on, and to someday manage a huge fund to help underprivileged individuals. My plan is to use the proceeds that I get from working multiple jobs and some dividends revenue to keep on investing until I manage to be financially free before 30. My name is Lo Chen Shane. I'm currently 23 years old. I'm a full-time student studying economics. I work multiple jobs over the weekend and over the week, and I'm also an investor. I was interested in investing because I always wanted to be financially free. I had to grow up with a single parent. My mother supported me since I was very young, so I had to be very independent. So I was thinking I wish to someday repay her for all the hardships that she went through in bringing me out. And I realized that you need wealth to do that. So I really want to be able to be financially free so that I'll be able to provide for her and give her a good life in the future. I got started with $3,000 that I got from teaching tuition. When I started, I invested in a hotel stock that IPO'd last year. I learned to invest from the internet because at this age, everything is available on the internet. So as long as you look hard enough, right, you'll be able to find the materials that you need to get started on your investment journey. Currently, I have two stocks, both of which are listed in the Singapore Stock Exchange, and one REITs. One is a property stock and the other one is a hotel stock. The main reason was because I believe that there will be room for growth in the two stocks that I picked. They have very, very strong profits and their revenue has always been increasing, and they are being held by a very great management. And even though for one of my property stock, the purchase price is actually higher than their net asset value per share, but I believe that the company will keep on growing. That is why I purchased that stock. For me, I guess the most direct strategy would be to firstly look at their past trends and their future growth forecast. A lot of people use DCF, discounted cash flow, to do that. But for me, the first cut-off will be looking at their net asset value per share. Then I will look at their management committee to see how is the leadership at the company like, whether there are any scandals. I'm actually a very fundamental person, so I want a management committee that has very committed leaders, not just a CEO that will come in and leave after a few years. That is the main reason why I will buy any stocks. A committed management committee that is dedicated to pushing the company to greater heights. I would say my risk appetite is moderately high. I will invest in stocks that just IPO'd but shows very strong growth potential. If you really wanted to count the number of years that I've been studying about investing, I would say it's around 2 years. I started doing more investing last year. My best investing experience actually took place just recently. I bought a property stock which I recently added into my portfolio. A few days after that, it went up by around 11%. So it helped me bring out the returns of my overall portfolio for these few months. My returns for this year is around 5%. To be honest, I was very interested in Forex a while back because I thought that you can be a millionaire. You see a lot of advertisements saying $2,000 to 1 million. I made $10,000 per month. But actually researching, after going through all the research, it's not that it's impossible, but the amount of people that can do that maybe is 1 in a million or 5 in a million. And for me, I do realize that if you really want to achieve that kind of precision in trading Forex, you need to dedicate a lot of efforts to it. And for me, I guess I want to take a more passive role right now. Because I still want to concentrate on my studies. By the time I graduate, I hope that I'll be able to at least double my capital. And I believe that it's possible because I'm going to start focusing on growth stocks. Even though it's a bit risky, but I will focus on growth stocks that are held by great leaders. I should be able to reach my financial goal before 30 because since investing, I have looked at money management from a totally different point of view. I think the most important tip would be to always know what you are getting into. If you purchase a company stock or share and you have totally no idea who is the CEO, what is their past earnings or what was their profit level, then I would say that is not investing, that's gambling. Investing reap returns, gambling don't.
I think it's always positive to have goals. I think the question now is how realistic are some of these goals. These goals can be achieved in two manners. One is your ability to save. Because if you can save $1,000 every month, then you can assess how big that particular fund will grow. And two is how much you can make out of your investments. If you can make 10% per annum, if you can make 50%. So there's a very realistic picture here with respect to how much you can save and how much you can grow that particular amount that you've saved or you've invested. Put these two together, you probably would have a very realistic idea of how much you would have in a certain point in time in the future. To make my first million at a certain age. But if that requires you to save a certain amount which is really exorbitant, which is impossible, and requires your investment to grow at a certain rate which is really impossible, let's say 50% per annum, it's an unachievable goal. So I think people have to be quite realistic as to how they achieve their particular goals. I think based on that, working backwards, you can then now find out how much you would potentially achieve in, let's say, 10-15 years time. You can vary a bit the amount of returns by taking on more risks. For example, I need to increase my returns from the current 5% to 15% in order for me to achieve my goal. Then you start looking for investments which are of higher risk but give you a higher return. But you have to understand that with the risk itself, you could actually miss your goal altogether if you don't control the risk.